Hi, this is Asha Saxena for Intelligent Luxury. Welcome to the show.
And I'm Julie Faupel, Asha's co-host. Welcome. Welcome right back.
You have to stop making me laugh.
I will, because I'm funny. Asha,
I know.
that's like my whole, that is what I bring to this whole
Oh my
thing.
God, okay, I know.
You're the brains of the operation, and I am the funny sister.
I know, you really are.
Yeah. When you and I met,
Yes.
we were immediately friends. The more we got to know each other, the more our thinking was so aligned in terms of this being such a pivotal time in both data and technology and everything that you work in, and luxury and kind of lifestyle and everything that is my discipline. We're in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we're in this beautiful facility, and the fact that you came in for an event being hosted by Realm, real estate and technology has not necessarily been something that has gone hand in hand historically, but it's such an act of friendship, and I think what you're seeing is there's so much curiosity around what you're doing and how it is innovating aspects of our lives that we never even anticipated.
Absolutely. But I also have to tell you, the reason I'm doing it because I love you so much. And I think that's what the world needs now. We have AI, we have machines, we have programs, and we have so much data. But what really matters at the end is the relationship. It's the human connection. I'm super excited about this podcast. The audience will enjoy so much because we are going to have fun while doing it.
It's always fun with you, Asha.
Thank you, everyone. And please continue watching because we're going to have guests who come from all around the world and going to talk about luxury in real estate.
We have a lot to look forward to.
Looking forward to it.
Welcome back to Intelligent Luxury. I'm your host, Julie Faupel, and we are here in Scottsdale, Arizona at the Realm Global Collective. I'm joined today by Sean O'Neill, my dear friend, all the way from the Turks and Caicos. Welcome, Sean.
Thanks, Julie. Thanks for getting me out to Arizona for the first time. It's exciting to be out here.
Well, it's exciting to have you, and I'm really excited to talk a little bit more about this. You know, you and I have shared a lot of screen time together over the years, and a lot of in-person time.
Yeah.
And so to you, Sean, when I said, okay, you know, come and be on this podcast called Intelligent Luxury, what does that mean to you?
I mean, I think for me, the first thing is like, what is luxury? Because that means different things to different people. I think for me and a lot of the clients who I work with in Turks and Caicos, it's time. Because time is the one asset they can't get back. Often a lot of the customers that we work with are people who are incredibly successful, who work really hard, but the thing that they miss out on is time, particularly with their family. So I think that, you know, for me, it's identifying what it is that's going to really resonate with those people who I'm working with. And obviously the Turks and Caicos offers a lifestyle that matches multi-generational travel, spending time with your kids, your grandkids, and maybe making up for some of the things that you feel like you've lost along the way. So for us, being intelligent in that is presenting opportunities to people that let them fill those spaces that maybe in their day-to-day life they're not able to get to.
So you marry that, like, I mean, you're in Turks and Caicos, a place that is where people are intentionally off the grid, but they are some of the most connected people in the world. And so when you think about kind of using intelligence and using technology to provide experience or even to provide time, how are you doing that in the Turks?
I think that, you know, we're blessed now that with technology, you know, one, we can identify a lot more information about our customers before they come to visit us. We have an understanding of who they are as people. Obviously, you know, just from a basic level, you know, a Google search will tell you a little bit about somebody, and there's obviously a lot of other things like what Realm gives us from a client identification purpose that's going to tell you, okay, these are the things that resonate with them. But it still comes down to using intelligence, whether it's artificial intelligence or actual, to be in front of people and hear what they have to say. Because I think that, you know, we were talking before we came on, we were talking about the Masters and Rory McIlroy's great win. And the perception that one person has or that you can get from somebody through the internet is not always reflective of who the person really is. So when you spend time with them, you really get a sense to know what does matter to them. And then you use all of that together to try and find the right place that's going to suit their lifestyle and their needs.
Well, so Sean, I feel like you do that so well. You know, you're somebody that's just easy to be around. So what's your secret weapon?
One of my friends once said to me, so when I transitioned from law to real estate, and he said, just don't care.
That's it. You just don't care.
Just don't care.
Yeah.
Just, it is not, it's like that old adage, right? Life is never as great as you think it is, and it's never as low as you think it is either. And so the Caribbean promotes a lifestyle of that things will come, nothing's in a rush. And when you think about, especially because we're dealing primarily with second and third home buyers, what they want is to be able to switch off, and they want to connect with the lifestyle that we have in the Turks and Caicos Islands and in the Caribbean in general. So you never try to be something that you're not. You never try and pretend like each day is different to the next. One of my friends, we had an Oasis tribute band came down for my friend's 50th birthday last weekend in Turks and Caicos. And a friend of mine who's an architect, we started having a conversation because he's done this amazing YouTube series, and he's like, well, what is success? And we was talking about social media, and then I'm obviously on Instagram a lot. And I said, well, the simple answer is it's different depending on what it is you want to do. And I think the concept is exactly the same, right? It's that each day presents a different challenge. I always say to my kids, what's the most important thing? And the answer is be happy. If you're happy, that is going to resonate in life. That's going to be successful. And I think that's what attracts people. People want to be around others that are smiling and happy and enjoying life. So I think those two things really play together well.
Oh, without a doubt. It's too, with what we get to do for a living, we're pretty fortunate in that we're kind of, real estate is the culmination of something amazing, generally speaking, and so if you're not going to be happy, you're probably doing it wrong.
Well, I used to work as a lawyer, and one of the things I know in my transition is that as a lawyer, you're dealing with properties, but you're always behind your desk, you're looking at the contracts, not the properties. And so anytime I get to show someone around the Turks and Caicos for the first time and I see them smiling and I see how happy it is, it's a refresher for me as to how unique and special a place that I live. So I think that's really important as well.
Yeah, it's that perspective, we all kind of have to keep that to some degree. So Sean, when you're kind of dealing with, these high net worth and ultra high net worth individuals that are coming in, where are they coming in from, and what is driving the acquisition in Turks and Caicos?
So we're still, you look at airlift and you see, okay, where are our primary routes coming in? So up and down the East Coast. Texas has grown as a bigger market for us with more flights coming out of Dallas and Houston. Obviously, Canada is a very popular source of buyers as well. But I think that the thing that attracts them is still, it's the lifestyle. During COVID, post-COVID, during the tourism boom that the world saw, investment return on short-term rentals became a really big driver everywhere. I think we're starting to see a little bit of a stabilization globally in that kind of travel. It's returning to what it was like beforehand. So I think that the revenue return for some people is becoming less important as it is that I want to have a place where I can come and stay. And for a lot of our clients, it's somewhere that they can go that's attractive for their kids to come. And most importantly, the kids will bring their grandkids. And so that brings everyone together. And if you say, we bought a place in Turks and Caicos, you find your family all want to see you, and you have way more friends than you thought you did before you bought your place. So I think that's always going to be the attraction. It's spending quality time together and ease of access.
Now, what about in terms of generations, and kind of this generational transition of wealth? What sort of trends are you picking up on that way?
So I think we're seeing some really interesting trends. So for example, we have Amanyara, which is a beautiful Amman resort in Turks and Caicos. Amman is obviously somewhere where people go for seclusion and quiet and to be able to really switch off. Well, now they've just started promoting their new project, sister project next door, which is called Janu. And Janu is a very different demographic. The idea is to bring people together and have DJ sets by the pool and have lots of energy. And these are going to be these amazing complementary resorts right beside each other that are going to deliver to an incredible standard. But it's a reflection of how those trends are changing. There's nothing wrong with either of them, and they complement each other, and they can cater to people where you might have some of the family who want to be in Amman and some who want to be in Janu. And it makes a real opportunity to be able to satisfy both of those constituencies at the same time.
Totally. Well, and so then you think about that, like going back to, again, your previous point about okay, it's wherever the grandparents are, they're the draw for the kids and the grandkids.
Yeah.
But the kids and the grandkids have to have enough to do and want to be there. It's not like a bunch of beach sitters.
No, exactly. I mean, look, Turks and Caicos is a quieter place. We always make the comparison that we're somewhere between Nassau and the Family Islands and the Bahamas. We have better access, we have more going on than the quieter islands in the Bahamas, but we're not as built up and busy as Nassau. So I think we find a really nice niche there where there's an amazing food scene, we're easy to get to. And, I said to somebody at breakfast this morning, when you're out taking videos of that, crystal clear water and golden sand beaches, it sells itself really to a certain extent.
Yeah, no, I feel like sometimes it's kind of, it's funny because it's like, well, do we really have to be that good at what we do? Because when you live in a place like the Turks and Caicos or in Jackson Hole, it kind of sells itself.
It does, but I think that's part of where the individual intelligence kind of comes out as well, because I always say that we sell wants, not needs. You do the same in Jackson. You don't have to have a second home in Turks and Caicos.
Yeah.
You buy it because you want to have it, because it enhances the lifestyle that you want to live. And I think post-COVID we're seeing a lot more of that, where people want to be able to have their escape. They realize that our time here is limited, and if you're not enjoying it, you're not doing it right.
So one of the things that is probably my favorite thing about you, Sean, is that you are an incredible real estate professional, and you have an amazing legal background, and you're as accomplished as people in this industry get, but you do it all with a sense of humor. And the way that you do it, I mean, I get to see it through some of your Instagram reels and through some of your posts, and I feel like that's a little bit of using cheeky luxury, or kind of like a sense of humor blended with luxury. I mean, will you just explain for our listeners and our viewers a little bit more about that philosophy and what makes it so much fun to be kind of a friend or a client of yours?
I mean, I think it starts with the fact that I love going to work. I love the people I work with. The fact that I get to go and do this job every day is amazing, because I know that not a lot of people have that privilege of going to work and loving being there. And so, when I look at it, it's like, okay, the first thing we're trying to do is get attention for our listings. And I think a lot of real estate advisors kind of think, well, I'm competing with other brokerages or agents to get attention. But we're actually, particularly from a social media perspective, we're competing with everything. It doesn't matter what the industry is. We're competing with Logan Paul and KSI and all these other people who are getting bandwidth on the internet. And so you have to make it fun. You have to make people want to watch it. I did a video for April Fool's Day where I said one of our South Bank boathouses was designed as a left-handed property, and it had a left priority spatial sequence. And I got a hit out of putting this out there because it captured people's attention. People were watching the video thinking, is this really a left-handed property, until they get to the end. And so if you have fun doing that, I think it does resonate with people. It definitely has been successful in my brokerage, in our growth, is that we have fun. We don't take ourselves too seriously. Obviously there are elements of our job that are incredibly important. You have to get that right, but you can't let that become overbearing, because again, we're selling a lifestyle destination where people want to have fun. And if I wanted to just be sitting down writing contracts, I could have stayed as a lawyer. Whereas this gives me an opportunity to be creative, to be in the properties and kind of share the beauty of Turks and Caicos, because that's our marketing strategy, right? It's number one, get people to come to Turks and Caicos, so boost the economy there. If they buy something, great. If they buy it with us, even better. And so that's kind of the starting pillars of all of our marketing. And I think when you approach it from that perspective, you get to have a lot more fun. It's not like I have to have X number of views on this and I have to get a lead that comes out. It's like, no, this is going to be a consistent process that we're going to enjoy, so it doesn't feel like work. And I'm grateful I have an amazing team around me that they also keep me in check sometimes when there's maybe a couple of ideas that have hit the whiteboard. They're like, we're not doing that. We found the line. And those are some of those good conversations that maybe will take place in the bar later on and not live on our podcast.
Exactly. We'll save those for the B-roll.
Yeah.
For sure. So, Sean, as you look at the future, I mean, and one of the things that is kind of a common theme with Realm members is, your ability to see around corners and to kind of see what's next. Mm-hmm. And in an age right now where there is a lot of disruption, whether it's technology or kind of real estate industry-wide, what do you think is next for all of us?
I mean, I know from my own personal position that it's always good to be constantly evaluating what's working, what's not. Is that I spend a lot of time in new developments. There's a lot of spreadsheets and things that go on behind the scenes. But I know, like, I reflected and said, you know what, I need to get in front of more buyers because I'm at a point in my life when my kids are 10 and 5. I'm not, out meeting tourists who are out in a restaurant or a bar because that's just not where I am. So I thought, okay, what can I do to get in front of people? So I created a Turks and Caicos real estate app. And so people can use that to follow what's going on. It's more engaging than just getting MLS emails. And so that's been very successful in getting in front of people. I think that there's always going to be opportunities that present themselves. I think that anything you can do to streamline your business and make you more productive is going to be beneficial. I think AI can be incredibly intimidating, but you have to embrace it because it's coming, and you have to figure out what is it that it allows me to do that's going to make me better than I was yesterday. And that's all you can focus on. You have to focus on yourself, not all the other noise that's going on. We're international. We're in the Turks and Caicos, Bahamas, Jamaica, Cayman Islands. A lot of the noise that you guys hear in North America, while it affects us to some extent because we are first a American-based brokerage, I think that we just park that to one side because does that affect my day-to-day business? Is that something that's going to interrupt me delivering at my best for my customer? And if it's not, then it's just put over here and let me focus on the things that are important.
Well, I think, Sean O'Neill, you are the quintessential trusted advisor and somebody that will always kind of lead the way with your thought leadership, with your innovation, and it's such a pleasure to talk to you and to have you today on Intelligent Luxury. Thank you.
No, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure speaking to you, Julie.
Well, thank you for joining us again for another episode of Intelligent Luxury. We will see you next time.